it's Cheyenne. Some of you have been following me for a couple of years and some of you just recently found me. Either way, I'm super excited to have you here. I made this video to give you a real look at how I went from being a complete mess with alcohol, waking up foggy, blacking out, browning out, pushing the people that I loved away, to discovering a simple path to getting sober fast. A path that not only helped me turn my life around, but has now helped dozens of women stay sober for over a year, find real confidence, and truly build and design the life that they want to live. This video is about 30 minutes long. It's straight to the point. It's not flashy. There's no bells and whistles. It's honestly just to the point. But if you're not able to just sit through a 30-minute video, I don't believe you're at the point to make real long-lasting change yet. But if you are, grab out a pen, grab out some paper, get ready to take some notes, and let's get started on the life that you actually want to live. I hope you guys enjoy. So, this is exactly how I went from fighting the urge to drink daily to being absolutely unfazed by alcohol and feeling in control of my life in just 120 days using the Sobriety 7 system. So that is exactly what we are going to break down in this video. So, now I don't expect you to just believe me just yet. Who am I, right? I didn't just try it with myself, but I tried it with many other women too. As you can see here, we have many women listed. I obviously can't fit them all on one screen, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about Jen. Jen came to me. She was depressed. She hated herself. She was working a job while also being a business owner. Her life was chaotic, to say the least. And just within 3 months of being within Sobriety 7, she had learned to love herself. She had left her hygienist job and done full time with creating the business that she had already had developed. And then on top of it, she really did become her most confident self. And now Anna. Anna was an IOP, and IOP just wasn't it for her. And within 90 days, right? Anna was able to love herself, to show up for herself, and most importantly, stick to her sobriety. She hadn't been able to go past 2 weeks and now is able to go 3 months and has been sober at this point, I believe, 8 months now. So on top of that, we also have here Steph. Steph came to me. She had gone to Reiki. She had been doing yoga. She had been doing deep inner work. And although that was very helpful for her, it just wasn't that missing piece that really helped her in her sobriety. So when she had joined, within 2 months, she was cigarette, weed, and alcohol free and absolutely loved the journey that she was on. So who is this even for? If you are struggling with depression or anxiety and you're just sick of using alcohol as a crutch and just want to not feel dependent on alcohol for all of your problems, this is for you. And now if you're tired of feeling like a bad mother because alcohol turns you into somebody that you're not proud of, and you need to be a better role model for your family or your future family, then this is for you. If you're fed up with relapsing over and over again, even after trying AA, therapy, or just sheer willpower, you just don't know what to do anymore, this is for you. If you thought moderation was the answer but ended up losing control even more, this is for you. If you're noticing your drinking or certain parts of your life are getting progressively worse and it's scaring you, this is for you. Now, on the other hand, who is this not for? If you are looking for a quick fix, or if you're hoping for overnight results without putting in any time or energy or money or any resources required to put into yourself, this is not for you. If you are someone who makes excuses instead of finding solutions and always has reasons as to why it didn't work for you, this is not for you. If you're stuck in a victim mindset and you're always feeling sorry for yourself, or you're always blaming others or refusing to take control, well, this is not for you, my friend. If you think you already know it all and you're not open to learning new perspectives or methods or having gained a new outlook, this isn't for you, okay? And lastly, if you're someone who's just curious or toying around with the idea of sobriety, but not totally serious yet, this is not for you. Not until you're ready to commit, right? moving on. So here's the truth about getting sober that no one else will tell you. Getting sober isn't complicated. It's actually very simple. And I can explain to you why that is. You can absolutely get sober without going to rehab. You can absolutely get sober without taking medication. You can absolutely get sober without having to tell yourself that you're an alcoholic. You can, okay? I'm living proof. Most people, though, struggle with alcohol and fail at sobriety because of 4 reasons. Number 1, they don't stop to spot all their triggers and make a plan for them. 2, they believe alcohol is helping them feel better in some way. 3, they avoid healing past trauma and dealing with current problems or anxiety. And number 4, they don't know what to do once they've got momentum in their sobriety to ensure that they never go back to the way that they're living. We call this the pink cloud, right? But I am here to make sure that you never have to go through that. There is no such thing as I can't get sober because I come from a long lineage of addicts. You shake my family tree, nothing but addicts falls out of that motherfucker, okay? I can't get sober because I live with family members who drink all the time. I can't get sober because I had this problem for years now. No, you absolutely can get sober. And if you want to finally be free from the grip that alcohol has on you, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Number 1, we're going to learn what makes you tick, what makes you want to drink, and then we're going to make a plan. So you're ready when that feeling comes back, you don't want to drink, or you know how to navigate yourself through that situation. Number 2, we are going to change the way that you even view alcohol. So you stop romanticizing it. So you stop thinking that it helps you when it clearly doesn't, nor hasn't, and never will, right? Number 3, you're going to heal from the past pain that makes you want to drink so it doesn't control your future. And then lastly, we are going to build a plan to keep your mind growing. Happy people are growing people. We are never going to reach a level of complacency, not ever in Sobriety 7. So even after you've stopped drinking, you don't slip back into your old life of drinking because it's so much easier to fall back into who we were than to step into who we've always been meaning to be. Now, before we dive in, here is a brief backstory on how I got here, right? Who am I even? So I'm Cheyenne Morrison, I'm 29 years old, and when I had first started this journey, it was 2019, and I got my very first DUI. No, it was not this photo, but I had gotten into a lot of trouble with the law. I had gotten a DUI, I had gone to jail for domestic violence, I had lost my father in 2022. I have had a long history of drinking, about over a decade of drinking. It was not as bad in the beginning as it was towards the end, but I think that that's any addiction of any kind. In the beginning, it seems so harmless and like it's not a big deal, but at the end of the day, it slowly creeps up on you more and more. So I had been in trouble with the law. I'm right here in this photo on the top, lying outside, throwing up, dry heaving. This was actually a screenshot of a video that my boyfriend unfortunately took of me. Just not in my right mind, you know, but I was so unaware that I even had a problem. I had this belief that I just overdid it every single time. But as I started to become more aware of my problems was when I started to be around people who had higher standards for themselves. We had moved from California to Florida, and I'd had this belief that when I get to Florida, I'll be sober. It'll be so much easier. I'm away from my friends. I'm away from my family. I'm away from everything that I know. And it actually was so much more challenging because I didn't have any support of any kind outside of my boyfriend. But let's be honest, he had no idea how to handle me, how to support me. He had never had a family that struggled with alcohol. So when he met me for the first 2 years, I basically got away with murder. He didn't even recognize, that my demeanor was changing. I hid it so well. I was definitely a functioning drunk. And so when I started to recognize that this was a problem was when I came to Florida and I started to hang around people who had higher standards. They were more professional. And I remember being at this beautiful setting, the most perfect sunset on a yacht with other business professionals, everything I'd ever dreamt of and wanted to be around and associate myself with. And I ruined it. I got so drunk. I was at the bar and I was drinking, I was dancing. I even have this video of me dancing. And at the time, I thought we were all just having fun. And now watching it in the current day, I see to the right of me, the girl next to me was so obviously judging me. Now with a sober mind, looking back at that video, I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody was judging me that night. And here I was just trying to fit in, not knowing where my place was. And then speed it up to the day that I decided to get sober. It would be right here with this little girl to my left. That is my 10-year-old niece at the time. She is now 11, about to be 12. And I had a horrible weekend at the airport. I had a layover that was 16 hours, and I just started drinking from the start of the day until the end of the day out in Cleveland, Ohio, while I had a layover. And then I get to my niece's birthday party, blackout. She's so upset with me in the morning. And you know what it was? She looked at me. She looked at me with the same look that I looked at my father when I wanted him to quit. And I think I was around the same age, 9, 10 years old. Broke his cigarettes, poured his vodka down the sink, and I remember how mad he was at me, and it just made me feel so scared and unappreciated and undervalued. And this probably was like where I started feeling like I wasn't good enough stem from. And so when she gave me that look and I knew she was disappointed, I promised her on that day that I would never drink ever again, that I'd finally done it. I'm like, I've hit my rock bottom, right? Or so they call it. I'm like, it doesn't get worse than disappointing a 10-year-old. So I made that promise to her. 2 hours later, I'm at the airport and I'm already immediately thinking like, wow, I can have a drink and I could start this when I get back home to Florida. But signs from the gods, the heavens above, I don't know, the universe, the stars were aligning. My Uber driver, I had shared this story of my shit weekend, and he was like, I'm 15 years clean off of opioids and heroin. I'm like, what is the likelihood of that happening? The day that I decide to get sober, I'm contemplating maybe drinking again one last time, even though I just promised never again. What is the likelihood of that happening? So I took that as a sign to like, bitch, you're going to be hungover. You're going to suffer. You're going to sit on that plane, dry heaving the whole fucking way home. And I did, and that pain and just fuck that. Never again. And so I made it hurt, and my sobriety stuck. And so I finally, in my mind, made that decision to quit. I didn't recognize at the time that I made that decision, and I was really all in. I wasn't half in, half out, and I really actually said, I'm going to do whatever it takes to hold myself accountable. And that's exactly what I did. I started to find direction. I started to make myself walk 8,000 steps a day. Well, it was 5. On the screen here it says 8, but 5,000 steps every single day, non-negotiable. And I started to do that, and then speed it up to 3 years of my sobriety. I'd finally passed that hurdle where I typically slip back up. And I created my Sobriety 7 page. And at the time it was Sober City, bitch. But I was like, let's elevate ourselves. So I created Sobriety 7, and that is actually in honor of my father. His birthday was March 7th, so Sobriety 7 was born. And as you can see here, at the time when I started it, I had 3 posts, 14 followers, and I was following 4 people. And now it's over 40,000 followers at this day and time, with thousands of posts to help people overcome their addiction to alcohol or any addiction of what they're struggling with. And now the last thing that I did through all of this, the amount of calls that I hopped on, the DMs I was getting, my own personal experience, I created a 7-stage system that walks you through exactly how to get sober. And that's exactly what it is I'm going to show and teach you. Now, the Sobriety 7 system is my system that I built through my own trial and error and helping women day in and day out for the past 1.5 years to get sober for good. Now I've decided to break it all down for you. So in the following steps, I will outline the entire process from A to Z of what I did for myself and my clients to accomplish these exact results with the Sobriety 7 system. Remember, this system helped me go from fighting the urge to drink daily to being unfazed by alcohol, feeling in control of my life in 120 days. So The Sobriety 7 system breaks down into 7 easy stages. Right now, we're going to focus on the first 5. So in stage 1 of awareness, you're going to become aware of the 7 major influences that cause you to drink. Now that you're aware, you can make a plan to handle these influences. The second stage is going to be eliminating false beliefs. Now, this is so important because our beliefs create the story that we tell. And the story that we tell creates the reality that we live. So in stage 2, we are going to go over addiction and how it sticks around because you still believe that alcohol helps you. In stage 3, we are going to talk about the healing initiative. Healing is feeling, so we must feel it in order to heal it. So you're going to learn that it's okay to feel the way that you're feeling. It's okay that you feel sad. It's okay that you feel mad. It's okay that you feel angry, hurt, let down. We are going to address those feelings, give them space for you to feel them, process them so you can finally move forward unbothered by those past feelings, all right? You're going to learn to have gratitude for what you have. You cannot be blessed with what you want until you're grateful for what you already have. And then you're going to, most importantly, learn to forgive others and learn to forgive yourself. You're not all the times that you were drunk. You're not who you were a month ago. You're not who you were yesterday. You're who you were when you woke up today and said, I'm going to take control of my life. That's who the And then in stage 4, mapping values. This is so important because it's where you're going to learn your ideal self versus your real self. The ideal self is the person who gets up and gets shit done and follows the rules and sticks to what they said they're going to do. And then the real self stays in bed and scrolls on Instagram and eats ho-hos on the weekend. That's your real self. So we are going to learn a lot about that. And then what sober people value, right? Because your values when you were drinking will not, most likely, they will probably change a lot. So we got to understand what you value now so that way you understand what to prioritize. And then in stage 5, the commitment to Kaizen, which means to forever, never ending improvement for oneself. And it's going to help introduce a routine into your life. And then a little bit better is better than nothing at all. If you can't do a 30-minute workout, do a 3-minute workout, but just do something, okay? Now, let me show you how each stage of the Sobriety 7 system will allow you to get sober and, most importantly, stay sober. So in stage 1, you are going to learn how to become more aware of the problems that it is you have in your life and what your major influences are or your triggers are, so that way we can come up with a plan and figure out what are the best steps to help you in your sobriety. For an example, I was very triggered by summer and sun and just good weather. So anytime that the weather was getting warmer, what I would prepare myself mentally was to always have glass of water with lemon or a recess or some sort of drink that would make me feel like I was still a part of the fun. But had I not understood that summer, sun, good weather, beach were my triggers, I would have forever just been stuck in this cycle of, I just am going to avoid the beach entirely. I'm just going to avoid the sun. I'm going to avoid good weather, rather than coming up with a plan, a back plan. Like, what can I do so that way I can still enjoy the sun, I can still enjoy summer, but I don't feel as triggered to want to drink? Solution. So you're going to have no control over worldly or hormonal, not really, but we can focus on the other 5. And so you'll have influences like people, habitual, belief, coping, spiritual, hormonal, worldly. And some examples of people would be, the direct offers that you get, or teasing of mocking of sobriety. Like, why are you even trying to get sober? That's so lame. Social exclusion, like, oh, she doesn't drink? Screw her. Group rituals, celebratory pressure, right? Role modeling. Well, somebody that I admire, they drink, so I should be able to drink. Why can't I drink? Encouraging round, subtle guilt, pressure to loosen up. You're such a stick in the mud. Just have one drink. You'll be fine. Manipulation. I just broke up with my boyfriend. Could you just drink with me, please? Cultural or workplace norms. You guys understand what I'm saying. And if at this point you want to pause the video and see for yourself, is there any other places in my life that maybe I'm being influenced to drink? Go ahead and do that now. Next stage is going to be eliminating false beliefs. Addiction sticks around because you still believe that alcohol helps you. I'm going to say that one more time. You believe that alcohol still helps you. And until you eliminate that belief, you will forever be on this vicious cycle of maybe one day my wedding or someone else's wedding or just one glass. Like, it just ain't it for us, dog. It's just not it. So, moving into beliefs, it improves my social life. It reduces my stress. It enhances my sleep, but it spikes that cortisol. So you're really not getting better sleep. It really doesn't eliminate your stress, right? It helps your creativity. It's harmless fun. Top of driving fatalities, okay? Drinking and driving. Signs of maturity, necessary for celebration, increased social acceptance, no serious health risk, right? Leads to 7 cancers. The list goes on. So, yeah. Beliefs. You got to eliminate the beliefs. You have to stop romanticizing it, and that is exactly what you're going to learn about in stage 2. Now, as we move into stage 3, the healing, like I had said before, healing is feeling, and we must feel the feels. We must feel the feelings, and we must understand what those feelings are, where they're coming from, and how long have these feelings even existed. Because what we do when we drink is just shove it far down, and then all of those thoughts get pushed into the subconscious mind, essentially forgetting about it entirely, right? Until you start to do that inner work, which we do in the healing, which is learning to feel okay with the feelings that you're feeling. It's okay to feel mad. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to not always be okay, right? Bottling everything up is only setting you up for an explosion later. Think of yourself as like a Pepsi bottle or Coca-Cola bottle, and you get those Mentos and you just try to put them in there and close the cap really tight. Eventually, that shit's gonna blow up in your face because you can't keep shoving shit down. You have to let it come up and come out. But doing that by yourself can feel pretty lonely, can feel pretty scary, can feel foreign, right? Especially if you've gone 10, 20, 30, 40 years without feeling those emotions and suppressing them. Learning those is going to be tricky, but that's why you have guidance through a community, through a coach. Learning to have gratitude for what you already have. Fixing your negative outlook on life is literally making your existence worse. We experience the life that we focus on. So if think of our minds like algorithm. Everybody here, I'm sure you watch and look at Instagram. That's how you found me. It's why you're watching this video. When you're sitting there scrolling, your algorithm on your phone recognizes the kind of things that you are looking for, the things that you like, the things that are interesting to you. Our brains, ironically enough, do the exact same thing. So if our minds are constantly focused on poor me, I'm a victim, the world has it out for me, negativity, then our minds are literally going to pull those thoughts out more regularly. Like, oh, we like this. We like feeling negative. We like feeling like the victim. However, if you do it on the reverse and you start to look at all that you have and the things that you're grateful for and the things that excite you, that begins to expand and your algorithm is like, oh, we like this more. We're going to start to be more positive. We're going to start to correct our grammar when we're speaking. We're not going to speak negatively. We're not going to think negatively. We're going to redirect those thoughts, right? And then you're going to learn how to forgive others and yourself. Unfortunate events are gifts to make us smarter, to make us wiser, to make us better, stronger, resilient. I look back at my past not being like, poor me, fuck that, why did that happen to me? I look at it like everything in my life happened for me because it's led me to this point where I'm at in my life today. And I, unfortunately, had to learn that same lesson over and over and over and over again before I finally was like, all right, I'm ready to really just learn the lesson. Help me learn the lesson. So forgiveness is so important because you don't want to be toting around all this extra baggage that is unnecessary. You're not going on vacation. And then we move into mapping out values. Stage 4. This is so important because it starts to tell you, all right, these are the things that we're going to start prioritizing because that's what we value. You're going to learn a lot about your ideal versus real self. You're going to know who you are. Most people live based on others' expectations, others' what other people want for them, what other people think that they should be doing, rather than asking themselves, what do I want? What do I think I should be doing? Or am I excited for my own achievements? Why do I still need my mom, my dad, my husband, my brother's approval, validation, acceptance? Why can't I just do that for myself and be confident within myself and be sure of myself? And then a lot of us have been shaped by our parents, by teachers, by friends, society, as far back as like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, and have developed a belief system. And through that belief system, we have grown along with it, never asking ourselves why we believe the things that we believe. Questioning, where did I learn this? Do I still believe it? Is it still relevant in my life, right? And then that makes it hard to know who we really actually are when we don't question those belief systems that we've created 10, 15, 20 years ago. So what do sober people value? Your past habits came from old values: comfort, fun, fitting in, being liked, being a chameleon, being adaptable, right? Shape shifting. And real change in your sobriety, it comes from valuing new things like discipline, right? A lot of us are, I need motivation. No, we as sober people, we now value discipline. We're not looking for motivation. Motivation is fleeting, just like feelings. Discipline is real and it's achievable, but it takes constant repetition. And honesty, must be radically honest with yourself to create that real change. So that now naturally becomes a value of yours. And so you prioritize being honest. And then self-awareness. It's very hard to stick to your path of sobriety when you are not aware as to who you are, what you are, where you are. And then community and patience. The opposite of addiction is not sobriety. The opposite of addiction is connection. So the more you get connected, and not to just any Tom, Dick, and Harry out in the street, we're talking about connection to people who are like-minded with a growth mindset, who want to achieve goals that you also want to achieve. Surround yourself with those people and you will win. And then patience. Let's be honest. You have to value patience in sobriety because this is not a fix it in one night. This is a long process that continuously gets better and better over time. So you must have patience, because sobriety means becoming a better version of yourself. And who doesn't want that? I don't want to just help you get sober, because what's the point of getting sober if we're not creating a life that we don't want to escape from? You choose what's important to you. You start living the way that matches to the life that you really want. And then you never question, should I have a drink? You're like, I absolutely wouldn't. Couldn't, shouldn't. I love the life that I have now. And that's what we're solving for in stage 4. And then Kaizen, forever improving oneself. You're going to adopt this mindset of constant, never-ending improvement. And the whole reason you want to adopt this mindset is because you don't want to spend your whole life chasing perfection. You want to chase progress. What was I doing a year ago? Not comparing myself to people around me. No, comparing myself to who I was and where I am now. Was I journaling a year ago? No. Was I walking a year? No. Okay, well then these are progress, and we're looking for progress, not perfection. Asking yourself daily things like, what can I improve right now? How can I be better? And when you're in stage 5, you're like, what belief do I still have? What limiting belief is blocking me? Where can I get better communication? How can I connect to people in a deeper, more meaningful way? You're asking yourself these things because you're looking for the long-term wins that come from daily efforts. You're looking for the 3-year, the 5-year plan at this point. At first, we were drinking. We're looking for instant gratification, validation, insta-like, insta-cart, insta-hit, swipe left, swipe right. We wanted all that dopamine. But now we're growing the slow and gradual dopamine release. And it feels better because this is the long game. We're not playing the short game anymore, right? And so we're also going to really focus in Kaizen, introducing a routine, right? Without a routine, sobriety is so challenging. And in the first 4 stages, we're focusing on our non-negotiables. By stage 5, you should be ready to start building a routine. And it's going to take you some time to build a solid routine that feels good for you. But we try out a couple things. This worked, this didn't work. Cool. Pivot. And then we come up with a new routine based off of You, literally specifically catered to you to make your routine a dream routine. You wake up, you're reading, you're walking, you're making a smoothie, you're giving your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your sister, whoever a kiss in the morning, whoever you live with, right? Maybe you're not kissing your sister, right? Sister, cousin, kissing cousins. And then routine also builds internal trust. You know in your mind, like, all right, I got these 2 non-negotiables. I'm going to run a mile and I'm going to read for 10 minutes. You trust yourself. Your word becomes your bond. And that right there is the tipping point of sobriety. You finally trust your word. Whereas in the beginning, you're like, I'm going to get sober. 2 weeks later, like, well, I'm going to get sober again. I'm going to try again. And that's the whole point, is you keep trying until one day it sticks. And now you have that confidence where you can trust yourself. And that's when we start implementing a routine, because you'll follow it, because you trust your word. You're like, I'm a person of my word. And then structure brings peace to a chaotic mind. When our life feels messy, it's because our minds are messy. And in order to clean up our minds and clean up our lives, we must get organized. And then we're also going to learn a little bit is better than nothing. Okay. This is going to help you with that all in or nothing mentality. I've got to get 7 45-minute workouts in. Otherwise, I'm a piece of shit. Okay. Well, if you can't do 45 minutes, 7 days a week, why don't we do every single day moving your body for 5 minutes? And in your mind, you may say things like, that's so stupid. Why even do that? Well, show me that you can do 5 minutes of moving your body for 90 days. And then we'll see how stupid it is. Because the thing is, consistency is the hard part. It doesn't have to be anything hard or challenging. Just being consistent is already hard and challenging when we live in such a high dopamine reward society. It's just constant distraction. So to stay and stick to the plan, that right there is the hard part. So 5 minutes, 10 minutes, keep it simple. KISS, Los Angeles. Keep it stupid simple. One day, every single day, 1% better. Just striving to be just a little bit better. Staying consistent, not perfect. Something is better than nothing, okay? And here's the crazy part. After just committing for 3 months, I actually wanted to live again. I was excited for life. I was confident within myself. I was the happiest I had ever been. I was working out. I was waking up at 5:30 every single morning, going on a run, hitting my non-negotiables. I even dropped 20 pounds. Not that I was intentionally trying to lose 20 pounds, but when I just decided to move my body daily and to be mindful and choose healthier options when I'm eating, the weight just started to shed off. No more alcohol, no more bad decisions, no more bad habits. I felt hungry for life, that I wanted to learn. I was excited. I have all these books behind me. I got so hungry to the point that I actually wanted to start learning and reading and developing my mind, and taking it from somebody who was not studious nor serious about her academics. I know that this is something that I gained through sobriety, finding what I'm actually passionate about and love in my life. And you know what the best part of all this, outside of the success that I've had for myself, is seeing the women in the community follow my footsteps, getting sober and building a strong mindset where alcohol doesn't even tempt them. That, to me, that's everything. And every single day, I get some message from these women telling me how grateful that they are that they found this opportunity. And the steps that I shared today here with you are the exact same steps that I shared with them. I have not held back any information. I want you to have it all. This is how strong Sobriety 7 system is when you follow it the right way on purpose and understand why every step and change matters. As you can see here on the left, I just ran that poor Mini Cooper into the ground, got DUI, ran it into walls, hit another car, got punched in the face, the photo to the next of it, got my finger chomped up, drinking wine, playing with dogs. This photo under here, literally me passed out, was quite regular, and the photo right beneath it also passed out in a bush. Acne was all over the place. I was always fucked up, high, taking Molly, taking ecstasy, crushing up Adderall, doing coke, drinking alcohol, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, just no purpose, no direction in my life. And then now here on the right side, I am the happiest I've ever been in my relationship. Our relationship was in fucking shambles when I was drinking. We're actually in a really great place. We trust each other. We're so madly in love with each other. I'm getting my fitness in check. I'm going out to the same events that I was prior with high-end, professional, like-minded people, except for this time I'm ready. This time I'm here. I'm present. I'm going to the beach. I'm going on walks. I'm going to cafes. I'm going on solo dates. I'm taking myself out to eat. I'm walking with the dogs. I'm watching early morning sunrises, and the sunrises and sunsets, those, to me, the favorite thing that I've got through sobriety, because I missed a lot of sunsets and I missed a lot of sunrises being too fucked up too early or too hungover the next day. And yeah, sobriety just changed my life. Because it was the starting blocks. It's what really got me to start to look at everything else in my life and say, hey, it's time to make some serious change. Kaizen. Now that you understand exactly how this system works, I have an offer for you. If you're a woman struggling with alcohol and nothing has worked, you're a mom, you're a wife, or a business professional, and people are starting to notice your behavior, if you're somebody whose confidence is at an all-time low and you know that there's a better life for you, but you just don't know where to start, and if you're tired of wasting time trying to figure it out alone, and you're ready to take control and impress the people around you with your newfound sobriety, this is for you.